Get off your phone, whippersnapper. Well, don't drive and text. Come on. If I just hold it at like 20% throttle, it just trucks up stuff. Ah, I gotta lower the rear brake. I just end up standing on it sometimes. It drove out of it fine.
Yeah.
Operator error. Woo. She broke the tree. No, she hates the environment. So, to explain a little bit, I've got my cartridges from my KYB Technical Touch conversion. I had a set of KYB forks on my KTM, and buying 2 Stark Vargs has left the wallet a little bit empty. So we ended up taking her Sherco cartridges out and put them in there, and then we took my KTM cartridges out and put them in here. Otherwise, it is stock. It's same spring rate, same everything. Trails over here. So, and I've got a counter shocks down here. It's kind of like a counterweight, helps the jitter. A lot of this stuff has just a ton of like little stuff, and it really helps fight that. And especially when you don't have your suspension done, which seems counterintuitive. Spend $300 on something to counteract not having your suspension done when you could just put $300 towards it. But I digress. But we got bibs in them, which it did, ironically enough, the tire noise was really loud. And I don't know if it was their special tubes, because they do have special, it's like, God, they look like almost like latex gloves. They feel like latex gloves. And or like an inner tube, like, yeah, like a ski, like when you go skiing, inner tube, it's one of those. So they're super light, but a lot of people get flats really easy. I rode it once before I was able to get my bibs in. It's just super noisy, you just hear everything, and the bibs have really taken it down, but you notice them. And I haven't been able to really experiment yet and see if the range has been affected. And speaking of range, I'm like a B local, or I'm sorry, a B national pace. And love you too, baby. Ooh, should pay attention. Gonna ass pack my wife, and not in the make money kind of way. Man, it costs money kind of way. So far these bikes have been pretty good. I'm assuming she's just gonna turn around. Yeah, we're wanting to ride this trail, so as you can see, I've got Mako's on here. She left her phone on, and she likes the phone. I don't really care. I know what it's gonna get me. It's gonna get me at least 35 miles in the woods on this kind of stuff when I ride at the speed that I want to ride, and that's okay. I know what it is. I know what it's gonna do, and I don't need the screen. If I ever forget what map I'm in, I just go all the way down, or I just bump it down one. It's not ever really been a problem to me, and I don't want to be caught in the middle of a race or an event or a ride or something and staring at my phone, literally, on my dash. but she's getting like 40 to 45 miles. And I mean, I think like a C-vet situation, like if you get somebody that's smooth and not like rompy on the throttle, because that's really what the load and some fast situations really eat up the battery. But look forward to more stuff from us, guys. We'll be out here. Whoop. Caught the edge of the berm. She rode that out really well. She's immediately better on the Stark than she was on the Sherco. The handbrake means a lot to her. One thing that man, everyone that I've had ride this thing, it's just like everyone goes like, oh, gotta give it minute throttle. And like if you've ridden like a Beta Explorer or a Sur-Ron, they're really like snappy off the bottom. They're not really like easy to control. They've killed the fine tuning on this thing. I've wanted an electric bike for like 7 years. I mean, I rode the first iteration of an Alta, and I was sold. I've been kind of in the same boat. Like, I love these things so much. I don't care that they don't get me to the end of events or races. Like, I don't care. I mean, I left Sumter still with a smile on my face, having to push it down the road. Like, I don't care. Now, there's gonna be situations that's gonna put me in like bad spots where I might be 20 miles from the truck, something like that, but you know, I'll cross that road when I get to it. And I mean, I still got a gas bike. If we're gonna go to Colorado and do a 60-mile day, yeah, I mean, I'll just bring my 350 and she'll bring her Sherco. Like, it's not a big deal. She's probably gonna want a handbrake now, but you know, it's just money. You can't take it with you. The KYB suspension's pretty good. I've got my KTM rear wheel on this thing, mainly because I just already had a bib in it. No, lazy. So you can put KTM rear wheels on stuff from like, I think it's like 2015 to 22, like SXS and XCS. You can use those wheels, and you just use your Stark Varg spacers. So you just use Stark spacers on the rear, and then the front wheels, they just bolt on. The KTM wheels. So you don't have to switch anything, which is nice. I'm a little bit idiotic, and I had it in my brain backwards that, you know, it was one way or the other, so I wasn't really like, I would have my KTM front wheel on this, but I didn't get it done before Sumter. So I don't know. If you guys have any questions, I keep an eye out on the comments. If you don't like the bike, tell me. That's cool. I'll talk to you about it. It takes roughly an hour and a half to charge it on a big generator, or 220 at home. They don't have lock-ons. Really, one of the things that scares me is this throttle tube. It's fly-by-wire. I think it's got like a cable in it, but it's got like a sensor. And this plastic is not super thick. And Sammy already broke her kickstand, and that's kind of been a thing. Some people are breaking their kickstand mounts already, and the kickstands are too short. I'd rather have a too short of a kickstand than too long of a kickstand, but it's noticeably like 1.5 inches too short. If you put Supermoto wheels on it, I mean, it'd be at home. It'd be great. But I haven't seen anybody break the actual throttle housing. I've seen people break the throttle tube, but they're not on wraparound. But there's certain things that are like, man, we took this thing apart and made sure everything was greased when we first got it. And I mean, it was well greased. You're probably good to just trust it for, you know, 6 months, 30-40 hours. But there's a lot of stuff that's like really well built. You know, they CNC'd it down and made sure it weighed as little as possible. And one of those things that I don't like that they made it really thin is the handlebar clamps. The top clamp is one piece where the phone normally sits, but it Sammy had a pretty good little get off and twisted it already. And I thought that would be my moment to have her put the Makos on, but it wasn't. But so I just gave her mine. I'm not gonna bother Stark about breaking anything that, you know, we broke, but we're gonna send them an email probably tonight or tomorrow about the kickstand. But they've been really good. We had a phone connection issue on hers. We did the transfer of ownership and then did the update. They did a range update. This is our first ride on the range update, but it lost her phone. Like, it couldn't find it, so we were having trouble, and they backdoored it, which is a little terrifying. I mean, it's scary to know that companies like that can, I mean, essentially brick your motorcycle, which it's not like a car or anything. But I mean, $13,000 is $13,000. I'd be gutted. You want to go down there?
It has a lot of pile up. You know how weird it is listening to commentary while I'm riding?
I was hoping you were listening to music.
I was trying to, but it keeps going in and out.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Play some downloaded music.
Yeah, I probably will.
I've been chattering.
I know you have.
Well, you'll get to hear it a second time when you edit the video.